and then I'm going to start the streaming. Now we're officially live, and I'm going to do the intro. 1, 2, 7. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Geek Fit Podcast. I'm Jake. That's Zach, and we're at our new time. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm just kidding. We missed yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. Zach, would you like to read the intro?
Yes. Jocko Willing quote here. Don't worry about motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. It is unreliable, and when you are counting on motivation to get your goals accomplished, you will likely fall short. So don't expect to be motivated every day to get out there and make things happen. You won't be. Don't count on motivation. Count on discipline. You know what you have to do, so make yourself do it. You do that with discipline. There it is.
That's awesome. Dude, yeah, I love that quote. Our topic today is going to be discipline. We want to talk about that. Um, so that's why we put Jocko Willings because he's like the king of discipline.
It's such a like a concept for a lot of people like when someone complains to me about like, "Oh man, I did this and it sucks." And I'm like, "Well, it's not like you're dead." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know what you need to do to make it better, so like I don't know. It's hard to explain, which is I think why we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, and nobody's perfect. That's the big thing. I mean,
No.
but I think with good discipline. Well, anyway, we'll move on. We'll talk about that in the topic. But yeah, there's so much to go on. But Zach, so this week in gaming, did you? Man, we've had this topic in gaming. We have like on our list here, which says, "Oh, this is what we did. This is what we did." And sadly, every time we come to gaming, it's like two sentences on on our list of things to talk about today. Did you get anything in this week?
uh I played Dead Cells for about half an hour or so, a couple days. It's really cool. Reminds me kind of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Um, and
Oh.
it has the permadeath that I really like. Like, if you die, there's a lot of consequences. You keep some things, but it's a big consequence if you die,
Mm.
which I like about games. Um,
What kind of game is Dead Cell? So it's like a side scroller like Symphony of the Night?
yeah, it's exactly like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, in that regard that it's a platforming side scroller. Um, you know, hack and slash. You got magic, you got weapons, you got ranged weapons, you got melee weapons, you got, you know,
Nice.
all that cool stuff, monsters, bosses, randomly generated levels. It's pretty cool.
That is awesome. That's
I
cool.
would recommend it. And also, other than that, I've just heard people playing the new Spider-Man game. It's kind of like, you're Spider-Man and you can go around the city doing whatever. Um,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's funny.
Uh, and so that sounds really fun. I'd like to try it someday when I don't have to pay so much for it.
When it's not $60 for the title.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's funny.
How about
Um,
you, Jake? What have you been playing?
yeah, so I got to play some Heroes of the Storm last week. I was super stoked about that. That was a lot of fun. Um, my brothers and I got together and we were just playing versus AI, but we were just kind of just talking and having a good time, and then trouncing the AI, which isn't too hard. We're not really good enough to play people because we suck at MOBAs, but it was fun to pretend like we were good. So it's fun. The one thing though, I really liked Diablo. It's kind of funny, like that game, the hack and slash Diablo. Um, but like that game is so hot and cold for me. Like, I'll play it like when the Necromancer came out. I played it seriously. That's all I could do for like a month or two, and then I was done. But the reason I bring that up is there's a new game coming out that's a lot like Diablo. It's called
What?
yeah, it's called Warhammer Chaos Bane, and
What?
it's a hack and slash game, very
What?
reminiscent of Diablo, but it's set in the Warhammer universe.
Can I
Um,
be an orc?
I don't know. I know you can be an elf. Um,
Hmm.
and I know you can be like a human and a dwarf. Anyway, I'm super excited. They say that like each race is also going to be a specific class. There's some really cool things they're talking about with it. And it comes out next year if I remember correctly. So I think I'm going to be all about that. That's going to be kind of fun to play through. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I'm excited because me and my brothers got tickets to BlizzCon. Haha! We're really excited.
BlizzCon.
Yeah. So we're gonna go down there and hang out in Anaheim in November for a week. It's gonna be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, well, but that's it for gaming. We need to get more of that in. Zach, can you invent about 15 more hours in the day so I can get some good gaming in? That would be
Let's.
super helpful.
I'll. I'll talk to Brongless about that.
You're right. Brongless, I need a 36-hour day. Come on. Or if I didn't have to sleep. Do you know how much I could game if I didn't have to sleep? It would be amazing. Uh,
That would
anyway,
be great.
how's your workouts been going this week, Zach?
Um, Pretty good. I did a deload week and kind of dialed things back quite a bit. Got my body feeling a lot better. Went to see Dr. Tifo, who's a practitioner of advanced muscular integrative therapy technique or therapy.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is like a combination of chiropractic and acupressure and massage that can take a muscle that's just kind of not working correctly due to an old injury or just stress or being overworked, get it functioning again. And it sounds like John Welborn, he does the CrossFit football website. He's a lineman. He was a lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs. But he calls Dr. Bueller, the guy in Kaysville who trained all these local guys in our area, like Tifo and Dr. Knight and some other guys, this technique. But Wellborn calls Dr. Bueller the voodoo doctor because it's like they're jamming their fingers into these pressure points and like wiggle them around, and it like pain is shooting like down your entire leg, and like it's just crazy how much it hurts. But then and then afterwards it's like, oh, that muscle is working again and all the pain in my hip is gone. It's like
Yeah.
voodoo. That's why he calls him the voodoo doctor. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways, went and got that done, and this hip problem that I've been having for a few weeks, been feeling much better. All the pain is gone. So that's good. I've still been keeping up with Wim Hof every morning and doing a morning prayer, keeping up with that routine. And then Saturday, when my deload week was over, I was able to hit some good weights for snatch, clean, and jerk, a little over what I would hope my openers would be for American Masters in November on the 4th.
Now,
Um,
now, real
and I
quick, you
got signed up for that meet too.
you said you were done a deload week,
Hmm.
and just for anybody that doesn't know, what exactly is that, and why did you do that?
It's when you don't train as hard and you kind of you don't do. It's either you do like pretty heavy weights, but very like maybe one rep at that heavy weight, or you do really lightweight, like 40 to 60%, and you do like, maybe 3 sets of 10. You just
Nothing
get, you
crazy.
keep, yeah, you keep moving, you keep blood flow going, you keep the body in that range of motion, but you don't, you're not trying to crush yourself. You're just trying to be more. therapeutic with your training
Yeah,
than
and
destructive.
I just want to throw this out here for everybody listening. So Zach's deload week would be my one rep max PR, tried my balls off week. So because he's superhuman, I was watching him throw 315 above his head. That was ridiculous on his deload week. Oh, that was awesome.
Well, that was good. I wasn't really expecting to do that much, but I just kind of felt like it was there, so I went for it on the clean and jerk.
So with the masters that you signed up for, that's ready to go. Like you don't have anything else you got to do there except for show up and kick ass.
Yep, I just paid my $130 and passed the stupid USA USADA, whatever that stands for the drug testing test.
Yeah.
And it was really annoying
Ah!
to to pay all that money and do, but you got to support, I understand you got to support, the USA weightlifting with that money, and
Yeah.
hopefully they're going to use it to grow the sport, and that's what I would like to see. It's
Yeah.
just it just seems like $130 just to go lift weights. Like, a big part of me is just like not okay with spending that much money yet because things have been tight, but
Right.
I guess now with my new job it's okay. But
Yeah.
I
Now
want
that you're
to
making the big money. Yeah, man.
but yeah, I'm excited about it. I needed to get signed up. I should have done it a while ago, but I was
Yeah.
stalling for some reason.
Yeah, and for those of
Um,
you who don't know, Zach got a new job. He is now a male gigolo, and he told me a story about how
yes.
he won $100 and got money thrown at him with his shirt off.
Oh yeah. This our Did I say this on the podcast yet?
No, you did. You told me.
So Jason Frampton, he's like the head sales guy for Ken Garf Automotive, and he does a quarterly sales meeting, and he's just like, it's one of those things where he gets people excited, throws money at them for answering questions, and just being willing to take risks. And so I hadn't gotten anything. I'd raised my hand a couple times, but hadn't gotten called on. And so at the end of the meeting, he's like, "We're gonna do a beard contest," and I'm like, "Meh, I'll just get on stage and see what happens." I don't have a great beard. I don't have a huge beard like these other dudes, but I think I have a decent beard. Like, I take care of it and stuff. So I get up there, and then he's going through the list, and people are applauding, and these other guys just have giant beards, and it's like, okay, I've got to do something extreme if I want to get that $100. And so you get to me, and I'm just like, yeah, here's my beard, whatever. Not much clapping going on. But then Frampton is like, I think Zach thought this might be an opportunity to like take his shirt off and that he could win that way. And so I just ripped my shirt off and started flexing at all the other salespeople in the entire organization of Ken Garf. And I ended up with $103 because a couple of dudes threw dollar bills at me. So there you go.
The only thing I would change about that story, Zach, is I would say some of the saleswomen threw dollars at me. I would just throw,
No, no,
yeah, yeah,
no.
no, dang.
It was all dudes. But but you
Dang
know
it.
what it was? It was like in Dungeons and Dragons, right? You have like a high strength character. Okay, you got high strength, you got low charisma, high strength, So maybe you let him roll with strength instead of charisma, because he's like, I go up to this guy and I start flexing and showing off and try to impress him, you know? So it's kind of like, instead of rolling for beard, I rolled for, I don't know,
Yeah,
physique.
physique. I rolled for, yeah, you rolled your, it's, I think they call that an intimidation roll. They're like, if we give him that, he won't beat us up. Oh, that's awesome.
I
That's
just
awesome.
know in those situations, the most like that's the time to do something extreme because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for people that are willing to take risks, and that's what I don't know. I just saw the opportunity. I was like, $100 for take, sure, whatever.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, and now you can use that, and you've pretty much has your master's weightlifting thing passed paid for.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
actually, that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. All you had to do was flex at them. Well, for
Oh,
me this week, I made a goal. I have not been doing any mind or spirit stuff. I've been all working out all week. I've been listening to books and stuff, but I've been starting to kind of feel the lack of, doing the Wim Hof breathing and doing the meditation and stuff like that. So I made a goal for myself this week, and I'm going to try and do the Wim Hof stuff every morning. So I'll have to get up earlier. Ugh. But I'm gonna start doing that, and I want to start taking the cold showers every morning again. Um, it's funny because what I've really started noticing is like when we have a really hard workout at the gym, you know, and it's something you just have to push through. Like I find my mind racing more about just thinking about, I don't know how to explain it, just what I'm doing and the next thing and how many reps I have left and should I push harder? Am I not pushing hard enough, or should I, I got to maintain this, can I maintain this pace? And I find that when I was doing more of the meditation stuff and the Wim Hof, I could just kind of be in the moment. You know what I mean? Still counting the reps and stuff like that, but I could just kind of fall into myself if that were, and if that makes sense, and just kind of go. And then I find my workouts were much better, and I would complete faster, and I'd be higher on the whiteboard at the gym when I could do that, you know, and I wasn't like second guessing myself and thinking, and my mind wasn't shooting in a bunch of different areas. And so I've noticed that I've really started to do that more and more as I've not done the Wim Hof breathing and the meditation stuff. So, and I think that that can help me in other areas of my life too. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, that's really interesting. You say that about getting in the zone, 'cause it's, I find it's really easy to get in the zone and just go when you're into the Wim Hof breathing. Like
Yeah,
it's really you don't feel the pain of the workout. You just get it done.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, I felt I was so much better when I was doing it. So that's what I'm gonna really shoot for this week. Is really trying to perfect that pyramid. Because mind, body, and spirit are all connected, and they can all make each other better. And I've only been focusing on body lately. Um, However, actually, so the other thing is so how I've been doing my squat challenge. So for the last few weeks, I've been squatting at least 3 to 4 times a week. Um, and just so everybody at home knows, I've been dealing with a lot of problems with my back, and so what I've been doing is I've been squatting 3 to 4 times a week, but it's been really low. Now Zach introduced me to this thing where one day I'll do 6 sets of six, the next day I'll do 7 sets of five, the next day I'll do 8 sets of four, and if I do a fourth time, I'll do 9 sets of three. Okay. Um, and then the weight goes up every time. So like 6 sets of six is lighter than the 7 sets of five, and so on. However, as I've been getting into it and more often, one thing I didn't realize I was doing is when I get to the bottom of my squat, my bar's leaning to the right side. And I've been trying to correct that. I just don't know how. And there's something in my back there. And then I was having Caleb, he was showing me that my right hip is going much further down than my left hip. And so I've got some tightness and some imbalance in there, that I've been hoping to work through. However, what's interesting is I think I'm going to stop doing the squats. Well, I don't know if I'm going to stop them because they feel so good to stretch out. But I think what I'm going to start focusing on, Zach, is pistols. And
Hmm.
I'm going to start doing the pistol squats. So basically, it's a one-legged squat. And I'm going to start focusing on those. And so, like I can't do a full one-legged squat. So what I'm going to do is on my 6 sets of six, I'm going to do them at one height. and then the 7 sets of 5, I'm gonna make it go lower, and then on the 8 sets of 4, I'm gonna make it go lower, and really push myself. um the reason is when I do that, I can feel the imbalance. Like it's so weird. Like I thought my right side was stronger, right? Because I'm keep leaning to that side and whatnot. But my right side, when I do the pistol squats, I can feel it up my whole hip and up my back, and my right side is the weak side, which I don't understand at all based on everything. So I think what I'm going to do is still do a couple of sets of squats just to kind of, get flexible and stay flexible. But I think I'm going to start focusing on those pistols, really make that my focus to try to even out that inconsistencies in my body, whatever the heck is going on back there.
Yeah, unilateral work like pistols really you really need that to balance things out like that. And then, you know, you're working with a couple of uh like you have Sean and Dr. Tifo that you can go see that are that can help you with the physical therapy aspect of like getting those things back in alignment, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
other exercises you could do like Bulgarian split squats. Those are fun.
I've what is that? I don't even know.
You
Bul-
put it's like a
Bulgarians.
lunge, but you put one leg up behind you on a chair or a bench or something, and then you can
Ah,
hold weights
I just
or
googled
do
it.
them without weights. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. So, yeah, do you think that would help with my problem, or would that
It'd
just
probably
be
be it'd probably be worth throwing in there to break up the monotony of just trying to do pistols every day, you
day?
know? Yeah.
Day. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Yeah.
Word
So
up.
that's been my week in working out. Although there was that one day, they say that champions are made um when you do what you don't want to do, like when they're talking about working out. And man, I was making a champion this last week. Like every day I had to pull myself out of bed. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is, man. It was bad. It was a bad week.
Yeah, I don't think I felt like doing anything that I didn't like have that fire until I decided to snatch 255 yesterday morning, and then
Yeah,
it just
man.
kind of it like clicked back on. And it's like that's how it goes sometimes. Like your fire just goes out, and then all of a sudden you'll just be like, I want that fire back. And you just, it's almost like a decision. You just overcome, you just burn up all of that, all of the past weeks, like crappy, you kept training, but you didn't really, weren't feeling it. And you just, that's all just cordwood. And something, you just decide to spark it up and then boom, you're on fire again. But
So true. You know,
fire can only burn for so long, and it's kind of just goes in waves.
yeah. Well, and it's funny because like this week, I felt every time I had to drag my butt out of bed and I was making all kinds of excuses in my head, like every day that that happened, I felt so much better after the workout. During the workout, you're just like, oh God. And then there was like a midpoint where I'd start to get into it more and I was having fun. And then the workout was over. And then I'm like, dang, I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean? Like every
Yeah.
day felt so much better for having done what I know I did not want to do at all. So you're right. It comes in waves, man. But I tell you what, that reward after a while is the best, right?
Yeah, I can see why people get addicted to heroin because that's what it must feel like that after you're done working. Like I teach classes like 5 days a week, and I see what people look like after they get done working out, and they just look like they just shot up with something. Like they are in heaven. They're in heaven right now. Like they're just complete bliss. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Especially when you teach that 5 a.m. class, I bet those people walk in not looking much more better than zombies. So
No,
it's a
no. Those
transformation.
yeah, those guys are pretty pretty slow.
Oh man, I can't even. Like I get up. I think that's when I'm waking up. Oof, doing a class at that time would be tough. But okay. So moving on. So we have our challenge. We challenge everybody to do push-ups and squats last. Well, I guess we missed a week, so last 2 weeks. Basically, anytime you had some downtime at work, went to the bathroom, the challenge was go do 20-ish squats and 10-ish push-ups. Basically, whatever you could do. Keep that blood flowing, keep your body moving. Um, so for me, I was doing it. It's been going awesome. Like there's something magical about that squat movement. I tell you, like I'll work out and then I'll sit down for an hour or two, and then my body just tightens up. So I'll go to the bathroom or whatever, and I'll start doing those squats, and so I'll do the squats, then the push-ups, and I can feel my body just loosen up, my hips loosen up, and I just feel better, and it helps keep me at a really good like a really good movement. I feel more fluid throughout the day and I feel more alive. I tell you what, just awake. And so for me, I think I've been getting up to about around 60, 50 to 60 push-ups, and double that in squats every day. So it's been going awesome. And the guys at work are really funny actually because they'll laugh at me. They're like, "Wait, did you just get done working out?" Because I told them what I'm doing. So I'll come back out of the bathroom like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And they're like, you you all right? Was that a big poop? I'm like, shut up. How about you, Zach? How'd it go this week for you?
It's been good. I've been so the when you are waiting for the next person to come in to look at a vehicle, you sit on the hot seat when it's your turn, and it's one of those that has the posts on it. So I've been doing L sits while I'm sitting there waiting because you're really not supposed to do anything else but just wait. So it can be boring sitting there for hours waiting for someone to come in.
How are you
Um,
doing in LSIT?
on the chair, the
Oh,
armrests.
so are you like pushing up on the armrest so your butt's not on the
Yeah,
seat, and then you just
yeah.
you kick your feet out so you're in an L?
Uh-huh.
Nice. Dang, dude.
So getting better at that and then still just doing some kettlebell stuff. And it's been cool because um, three of my coworkers, including the top salesman for the Kengarf group, decided to do a weight loss challenge together. And they're taking some advice from me and kind of incorporating some stuff that I think will be really helpful for them. And they're all down like about 5 to 10 pounds already just in a few days. So
Dang. What
they're
was
doing good.
what was your advice to him? What'd you tell him?
I told them to do the 8-16 split, so some intermittent fasting, and
Yeah.
then to try and limit their sugar, try to eat mostly whole foods, lots of fat and protein, and then
Nice.
save the carbs for last and make sure they're getting their veggies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just the normal. I didn't try to go too in depth with it, but it seems like it's working for them, and they're losing weight already. So
Dude, that's
the,
awesome.
I think they put in $50 each, and the winner takes the pot.
Oh, snap. And they're doing the 8-16 split, huh? That's cool. Are you still
Hmm.
doing that with your fasting, by the way? I haven't talked to you about what your eating is like in a while.
Pretty much, yeah. Sometimes it's more like 9-15, but it depends. Yeah, and then I've been fasting for about 20 to 24 hours on Sundays.
Dang. What made you want to do that on Sundays? Just get a little bit better fasting?
Uh, I don't know. I just think it's good just to as a reminder that, there's so much abundance in the world. It's
Hmm.
good to make yourself grateful for it by going without
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and just to clear your mind enough to just be and take care of everybody else without, doing anything, you know, like getting everybody else food, but then I'm just gonna wait.
Mhm.
Just that feeling of gratitude that comes with waiting for something rather than getting it right away.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like our topic of the day, right?
Yeah, discipline.
Discipline.
Well, before we get to that, one last thing. So on the challenge this week, what we were gonna say is we wanted to still have people do their their movement. Like I'm doing the push up and squats. Zach's doing random things every week because he's awesomer than me. Because I just like the main thing. So what I was gonna do to challenge myself is I was gonna start trying to do 100 push ups and 200 squats every day, just after my workout and throughout throughout the day, to try to just kind of amp that up a little bit. I know these last 2 days we got super busy, and I think I only did like 30 push-ups and 60 squats. So what I wanted to start doing is I'm going to start doing as many as I can throughout the day, keeping a tally, and and then at night, if I have like 10 left or 20 left or whatever, I'll just finish them up and then go home. So that's going to be my goal. What about you,
I'll
Zach?
just I'm gonna keep up with what I've been doing. Make sure I get my 10 frogs every day in the middle of the day. I'll do them right in front of people. Like I don't care. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, making sure that my back doesn't hurt and I can sleep good tonight. What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're getting old. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm anti-aging right now.
yeah.
Um, okay. So we did have a topic for the day. So one thing we wanted to talk about was, well, discipline, based on our quote. It's a thing that Zach and I have been talking about a lot this last 2 weeks. He's been listening to those Jocko Willink's books, and it's funny because I've listened to that one book, and then other books, and it's funny because these other books and by other authors, they all kind of say the same thing. You know, um, we've all heard the thing, consistency is key. You know, there's no magic pill to success. It's all about consistency. And I think the reason we want to talk about discipline is what gets you through that. What makes you consistent is discipline. You know, what makes you do show up every single day and do the thing you don't want to do, because sometimes you don't feel like working out, or sometimes you don't feel like doing whatever it is. Like for me, in sales, it takes a lot of energy to give that all to a customer. And I think the easy thing to do is to see somebody come in and kind of prejudge them and then not give them your all because you're like, oh, for some excuse, they're not going to buy, or whatever it is, and that's specific to me, in my job. But I think that the reason that I do good in my job is because I really try to call myself out when I'm thinking like that, and have the discipline to give every customer my all, because then I do much better. Zach, you had some stuff to say about discipline. We were talking about it. You had some things you wanted to share.
Yeah, I think it's like you're saying, it's a topic that comes across in fiction and nonfiction, and it reminds me of a line from the Brandon Sanderson's new newest book, the Way of Kings, Oathbringer. But just the one of the main characters just tells the big bad guy, like, you can't have my pain. And that's what discipline is, really. Like, if you if you aren't disciplined, you're trying to dump your pain off on an excuse. It's like, like, when really the reason that you're not X, Y, or Z is because you're not doing the things that you need to do to get there. So if you want to be in shape, make time to exercise. That's all there is to it,
Well,
you know?
and I'm sorry. Make time to exercise, but don't. The one thing that frustrates me is when people don't only not make time, but then they start to shit on other people that do, or they start to make
That's they're
excuses for, like, oh,
Yeah.
genetics. Yeah, I wish I had genetics like that, or I don't
Mhm.
have the time. Bitch, we all
They're
have the
trying
same 24 hours.
they're trying to dump their pain off on the excuse when really you own your pain, and then that's how you get discipline.
Yeah.
If you can just take ownership of, oh, I want this thing. What am I like? It's not whose fault is it that I don't have it. It's not there's an excuse that I don't have it. It's what can I do to get this thing?
Yes,
what actions can I take?
exactly.
No excuses, no blaming, just action that you as an individual, nobody else can make you do it but yourself. So
Yeah. You know,
trying to be as simple as possible.
dude, like that's it. It's like what it's not why I can't. It's like how do I do this? I love, and one thing that frustrates me so bad these days when I'm talking to some of the guys at work. So I'm the old guy. I'm 34. And I work with these 19-year-olds and 18-year-olds, and sometimes I want
Mhm.
to punch them in the face because um no, because sometimes I think the thing that frustrates me is we'll be talking about something and then I can't remember what it was. But anyway, basically it's always I feel like these people can't go to extremes, you know? It like like there's no middle ground. It's like, "Oh, I can't do that because, you know, I have this and this and this and this and this issue and then I'll die." Like, you know what I mean? But it's
Mhm.
like I really feel like if you sat down and did it, maybe you can't do these specific things as good as other people, but you can still enrich your life and make your life better if you did these workouts or could, accomplish your goals. Basically,
Yeah, right.
you'll never accomplish your goals if you're always coming up with obstacles. If you're
Right.
always figuring out ways to go around those obstacles, then that's how you get your goals, you know?
Right. You know, I could easily just say there's women that can lift more weight than me. Like, why do I even try? I could easily there's a million excuses that I could come up with to just stop every practice that I have going for me, but it's that's not what it's about. You've got to own your own decisions and your own behavior. If you want something, then go for it. Don't make excuses. If you want to make more money, like what can you do?
Make more
Not
money. Yeah, yeah.
if you want to get up early, set your alarm, put it across the room so that you have to get up or it will just keep blaring at you and get up. And when you're up, just go. Don't go back to sleep.
I think I think the biggest warning sign that people that that well, so whenever I have something and I'm thinking about something, the one thing I always try to look for in my mental thought, my train of thought, is if I'm thinking about all the reasons I can't and why it's hard, then I realize I'm making excuses. And the instant I start thinking about how to do it and how I could accomplish said goal and what I got to do, you know what I mean? Then then it doesn't become as hard and then it doesn't become as difficult, and then I just got to do it. And the other side of things, shit's difficult, guys. Like,
Yeah,
like shit
it's not
sucks.
easy.
Like, so but
Obs
oh, go ahead.
the I read The Obstacle is the Way a while ago too. And that's a good I mean, just the title, like, if something scares you or if you are, like, intimidated to do something, it's probably a good idea to just get after that thing and get better at it or just do it because that's how you're gonna make progress.
you know at work it's kind of funny. So see, like, all these different people say the same thing. I was reading a Grant Cardone book, and one thing that's really helped me at work that he's talked about, he's like, hey, if you find yourself not wanting to do something or afraid to do something, that's the thing you need to do right now. And I've started doing that, like, whether it be with an angry customer or something, and I've had such good success with that. It's so funny. Like, you know, uh, like those are the things that I find myself shying away from. So then once I can consciously recognize that and I start doing those things, my day is so much better and I make so much more commission and money. It's amazing. And then if you translate that into life, you know, um, that's I think why I like CrossFit so much, because it makes me do shit I would never do. Like the days I show up and it's like, hey, we're gonna do sprints until somebody passes out. Sweet. Oh, great. That's a great workout. I had to program that for sure.
That's one good aspect of it is that you do things you weren't expecting or prepared for, really.
Yeah, dude, it's so true. Um, One quote that I saw, and actually, so I watched this show called Because Science on YouTube, and it's amazing. Have you seen that one?
No,
Um, it's funny, it's awesome. Anyway, the one thing
I'll have
he
to check
said,
it out.
yeah, yeah, he takes like superhuman. He's like, why you don't actually want, super strength and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Hmm.
But anyway, one thing he said, and it's really funny and it really meant a lot to me, is the universe is not out to get you. Things happen to you, and your interpretation is whether they're good, bad, good or bad. So you can take any situation and make it what you want it to be. You know what I mean? Obviously, somebody stabbing you on the street could be conceived as a bad situation, but that could be a really good motivation to learn jujitsu. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously that's an extreme example, but in life, if you go about it like that, I mean, then you never know, man, what you'll be able to accomplish.
It's true, and it's another thing is perspective is that when you start, I hear people start complaining like oh, today was terrible, it was so slow, there were no customers. Like, it's like, really, it was a great day, you got to work, you didn't get shot at, nobody tried to kill you.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people get down about things when things are actually pretty dang good. And just keep that perspective in mind that there's people out there that are being abused, kids that are getting trafficked, like women that are just being used as objects by, terrorist groups. And there's terrible things going on in the world. And most of the people here, and the people that complain the most, seems like they actually have very little that they should be complaining about. So it's something that when I start complaining, I always keep myself in check by just that knowledge of, could be worse, way worse. So
yeah,
do what you can to make it better.
yeah. You know, and there's a lot to be said about, we've been talking about mind, body, and spirit, and I think that this is one of those things with mind. I've been in this doing a lot of stuff in retail and sales for a long time. And one thing that phenomenon that I've always noticed is, when somebody starts getting down, then their brain starts looking for ways to justify that it's slow and that there's no customers are buying. And
Hmm.
so what'll happen is you'll have two stores with two different employees and they have the same traffic, but one store is doing better. And one
Hmm.
store just has a good attitude, and the other store is just making all the excuses in the world about there's a football game going on somewhere else, so people aren't paying attention to that, or the weather's good outside, so they're barbecuing, or no, just kidding, it's snowing, so nobody wants to go outside, or no, just kidding, it's fall, so people are buying pumpkin spice, or no, just kidding, it's spring, so everybody's, like any excuse in the book that you can have, like you can make an excuse about anything, but when you look at the numbers, it's like you had the same traffic as the other store. The other store just didn't have a shit attitude. Like,
Hmm.
and so your brain starts to, when you start to get negative like that, your brain starts to focus on that and look for reasons to justify the way you feel. Anyway, long story short, with discipline, you can have much better days. You can make every day a little bit better than it would have been, because I think at the end of the day, too, there is some power in saying, you know what, today was kind of shitty, car tire blew and this happened and that happened. But if you just let it get to you and you're just, oh, woe's me, nothing will change. But if you look at it, and you're like, well, I probably should have had a spare, and you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. You can at least make the really shitty experiences a little bit better.
Yep, you can turn things, you can always learn from things. You can either win or you can learn. And that's just how you have to learn. You have to go through life with that mentality. I think that's
You
win
can
or learn,
win or
like
learn.
Jocko says in his
Yeah,
kids book.
yeah,
Way of the warrior kid. It's a good one. But
So you had a quote here that I'm seeing. When you feel like losing your temper, but you detach and make a logical decision, that is
oh,
discipline. I
yeah.
love that. That's that right
Telltale
there.
games.
That is exactly why I want to start doing um my Wim Hof again and
Mm,
my meditating, because
mhm.
working your mind like that, it's like working your muscles, like doing curls or whatever, because I find myself becoming more emotional, you know,
Yeah.
when like making the easy decision. But if I can get that mental discipline, I can make the hard decisions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's every time you push yourself to just do that retention, it's just another it's an exercise in mental discipline and toughness for sure. So you can apply it to a lot of other areas of
To yeah, every well, and then the last thing you put here, and I'm loving this line, Zach. Choose the path that leads you to true freedom over the path that leads you to momentary gratification. That's
yep.
awesome. That's awesome. That's a whole thing of why you shouldn't. Um, yeah. What is this? Sugar is chaos, or what did you say?
Chaos is candy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So true. And it's funny because in life there's so many things that are momentary gratifications but in the long run hurt you. And if you can make those decisions time and time again, it's just the little things that add up to being where you want to in life, hitting your
Yep.
goals.
Yep. Accept that pain. Don't try to give it to anybody or anything else. It's
Yeah,
yours.
that's true. So true. Well, that's about all I had. Did you have anything else, my friend?
No, I think that's a good note to end on.
Heck yeah. Well, I hope everybody stays active this week. Keep your workout going. Go when you don't want to. Do your mental challenges. Um, and Zach, do you want to read our outro?
Until next time, stay the course and remember, chaos is candy.
Yeah, man. All right. See you, everybody. All right, I'm gonna play the outro.